الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن عليًا ولي الله صل على محمد وآل محمد أشهد أن عليًا حجة الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله اللهم صل على محمد وآله اللهم كل وليك الحجة بن خلص صلواتك عليه والآباء في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة ولي حافظ وقائد والناصر المذلين حتى تسكن خارجك توما وتمتع فيها طويلا اللهم صل على محمد
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي كان موجودا قبل حدوث الأشياء ويبقى بعد فناء الأشياء، تفرد بالأولية والقدم ووسم كل شيء ما عداه بالفناء والعدم، كما قال عز شأنه: كل شيء هالك إلا وجهه وكل نفس ذائقة الموت وقال كل من عليها فان ويبقى وجه ربك ذو الجلال والإكرام. والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنام سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين، واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: إن السمع والبصر والفؤاد كل أولئك كان عنه مسؤولا. صلوات. So we are discussing Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq, a supplication from Sahifa Sajjadiya, the book of supplications of Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. And every week we are taking one sentence, although as I said that every sentence is so great and it has so much meaning in it that we can discuss it for hours and hours and hours. But I'm just taking one sentence each time to quickly talk about it briefly and go forward to the next sentence, because mashallah you also have the knowledge and the ability to do more research and go in more depth analysis of each sentence. A new paragraph that is started, again as usual, as the Imam has taught us to do while supplicating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by saying Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa alihi. Remember, the dua started with this sentence, and I had mentioned that in this dua 19 times Imam has repeated this supplication within that supplication. See? Why? Because this is the most important supplication ever that you have learned. And it is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless His last prophet, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, wa alihi, and his progeny. The last time we read this sentence after it. وَكْفِنِي مَا يَشْغُلُنِي الْإِهْتِمَامُ بِهِ. Everybody in his life is busy in something. You are not sitting, doing nothing, doing anything, even thinking something. So even thinking something, since before, in previous paragraph, Imam has mentioned both things, that intention and your action are so much related to each other. So you cannot disconnect them. They are connected. So if you are not doing, for example, just sitting here, so it's thinking something. So you are busy every time your mind, your actions, your limbs are busy in something. But most of the time, and this everybody will agree with that, most of the time, our actions, our thoughts, and we ourselves are busy in things which don't worth, have no value. Have no value. If you don't think about what we're thinking now, what is it's going to make a difference? If you not do what we are doing now, for example, not now, anytime that you think about this reality, see what you're doing. If you don't do it, so what difference it's going to make? If you don't say what you were saying sometime, what difference is going to make? But if it's going to make any difference, it means it is important. So it depends that how important thing you are busy in. You are your tongue, your eyes, your hearing, your limbs, your mind is busy in what kind of things? It's called ihtimam in Arabic. Means you have concern about things. Yashghuluni, make you busy in those things that you think that, okay, you have to do it. After a while, you find that all your efforts went in vain. Think about your life. Different ages are sitting here in the audience. I can see teenagers, I can see in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, until 70s and 80s, mashallah. Everybody go back and take account of yourself. Check your accounts, not just bank account that we are used to do always. Whenever we talk about accounts, just bank account. No, I'm talking about your life accounts, your time, the accounts of your time, because time is money. See what we have done in last 10 years, last 20 years. What ambitions we had 10 years ago, and we are thinking, oh, listen, we have 10 years. 10 years, plenty of time. Okay, so 10 years passed. What did you do in those 10 years? Sit and check your accounts, and check yourself, and check the time that you spend in what kind of things. Do they worth? So this is what Imam is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us ability to spend our time in things that really worth it. Worth it. And it is hard, of course. If every day we spend 1 hour of our time in things that really deserve to be, be attended, then it's good. At least 1 hour every day. But really, does this happen? Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam's very famous saying, Man tasawa yawmah fahuwa maghboon. A person whose 2 days are equal, he is a loser. Loser. Why? I'm today exactly what I was yesterday. No improvement. I didn't do anything extra in 24 hours. I'm the same. Same in my life. So I'm loser. So every day I have to do something extra, do something which has more value. Do something that adds value in my life, in my resume. My resume is not only for getting a job. I have to check my resume every time for myself. Because why? Why should I check? Ihtisab, it's called ihtisab. I have to take my own accounts every day. Now this next sentence is talking about this. And it is a very important sentence. All sentences are related to each other. And since we had talked about this sentence, I'm not going to elaborate on it more. The next sentence says, وَاسْتَعْمِلْنِي فِيمَا تَسْأَلُنِي غَدًا عَنْهُ. Because in last sermon, and today also, I emphasized on what? That we should spend our time on things that are worth it. Now as open discussion can be there about what things are worth it. What are you talking about? What do you mean? I do everything that's worth it. I'm spending my time in things that really are important for me. What are you talking about? So what is the criterion for that? How can I know really I spend my time in things which worth? How? There should be something so I can gauge, right? My own activities and my endeavor. So what is that? This is what Imam is saying. وَاسْتَعْمِلْنِي, O Allah, and use me, use my time. Use me in what? فِيمَا تَسْأَلُنِي, in things that you are going to ask me about in the day of judgment. This is the what? This is the definition of things that worth it, really. We do a lot of things in our life. Many things, many plans, many projects. And we spend our time, and after a while we say, oh, where we are? What did you do? Where is my time that I spent? Where is my money that I spent? So, to check your success and failure, you have to see this sentence. This is the criterion Imam is giving us. وَاسْتَعْمِلْنِ فِيمَا. For example, you're sitting somewhere, talking, different kind of talks, speaking, doing some activities, anything doing, halal. These halal activities, discussions, questions that you are spending your time asking questions, listening to the answers, or doing some research. Is this something that Allah is going to ask you about? So you spend your 10 minutes in something that Allah is not going to ask you about this. Somebody says, what was Fir'aun's grandma's name? Come on, I don't know. How do you know you are so a scholar? I don't know the history. Okay. If I know what was grandmother of Fir'aun, what was her name? What is going to benefit me in this world and hereafter? Instead of going and do this research about the name of her grandmother for no reason, I can do something else. So see, this is just example, tens of examples every day in our life. It started from your home. It start arguing very little things. Half an hour of argument, and you got nothing. You received nothing. No result of that argument, but something to increase in bitterness. All right? Why? Start discussing something better that is going to result in good thing. Worth it. استعملني فيما تسألني عنه. Let me spend my time in things that you are going to ask me in the day of judgment about them. In this sentence, Imam actually has briefed the entire religion, I can say. The whole Quran, all Sirat of Ahlul Bayt, all teachings of the prophets are briefed in this, that you should hold yourself accountable here before in the day of judgment. Allah will take, will take your accounts. Take your own accounts here. Do ihtisab. Ask yourself what you are doing. See what I'm talking, what I'm looking to, what I'm here to. My actions, my endeavors, my struggles. About what? Because this life is very short life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given everybody very short life. It passes away very fast. Only young people, they don't realize that. But after 40, once they become 40, and this 40, suddenly they become 40, right? When they are in their 20s, they think they will remain in their 20s forever. And this is how they act. And this is how they react. 20s. Because they are strong. On the peak of their powers that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them. Once they come into their 30s, they start realizing a little bit of what they have lost. In 40s, they know them. They are moving to different direction. So see, time is important. And as I referred to the ayah of وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ in last sermon, it is related to this as well. And not is to this for every single minute of our time. And that's why in every sermon ends with this surah. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. Every human being is in loss. He's losing. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Except those people are not losing. Who have iman. Why? Because they are doing something that they are going to get the result of it for sure. All our concerns, all our worries about these worldly issues it's mortal issues that are going to go away and will not stay with us forever. This is waste of time, kind of waste of time. Unless, inshallah, we'll talk about the next sentence, the third sentence that Imam has connected everything together beautifully. So everything is related and connected in this dua. Unless all what we do, all the endeavors, all our work and our struggles is connected to Ridha Allah, pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then everything you do in your life, even if it is worldly apparently, it becomes something ibadah, worship. Anything you do, anything. Name anything which is halal, and you're doing it with good intention to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it turns into worship instead of just worldly thing. We'll inshallah talk about it in next sermon, because the next sentence is explaining this one after another. فَاسْتَعْمِلْنِي فِي مَا تَسْرِي. See, Quran says, I just recited this ayah from Quran. إِنَّ السَّمْعَ وَالْبَصَرَ وَالْفُؤَادِ. For sure, your hearing, your sight, and your heart, and your mind, كُلٌّ أُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. Everything of these, hearing, sight, and your heart or mind, are going to be asked about. Why these three? Because Allah mentioned in several places in Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given human being these three important organs: eyes, ears, and heart or mind. Qalb is for both. Why? Because these are the sources of knowledge. You started learning by looking to things, watching, using your eyes, your sight, and using your hearing. And you learn good or bad things from your parents. If you use good words, you learn good words. Bad words, you learn bad words. If you heard, Allah forbid, just the songs, haram songs, you will grow up loving those songs. If you heard in the beginning Quran, for example, you grow up loving to hear Quran. It depends. So these are sources of knowledge. And heart or mind is the storage for that knowledge. So three things have been mentioned. I don't have time to explain it and give those references. And amazingly, Quran have mentioned these three every time. Here it's saying all these three are going to be asked. Allah is going to ask you, what did you see in your life? What did you watch in your life? I gave you eyes. Without eyes, see. Ask somebody who don't have eyes what kind of life he has. But you have eyes. It's great bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala how you're using your eyes. Your hearing, you can hear things. And you have heart and you have mind, you can think. Right? كُلٌّ أُولَٰئِكَ كَانُوا عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. Everything is going to be asked about. This is about our body. Everything around us, we are responsible for anything that we have any kind of relationship with. And if you remember, Risalatul Huquq, in which Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, and we discussed, that Risalatul Huquq, the treatise on rights, more than 5 years in our sermons. It's great 50 rights that Imam had mentioned in that discourse of rights. Is great. And he starts with saying this, that you are surrounded by rights. Whenever whichever direction you face, you will find a right on you. And you have to pay that right. So you are responsible. And rights and responsibilities are interrelated. So you are responsible. Responsibilities. تَسْأَلَنِي غَدًا عَنْهُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will hold us responsible for many things. Not just eyes, hearing, and our heart. But everything that we have any kind of relationship with. Even the environment. See? Environment, Allah is going to ask us. So don't think that only people, we have relationship with people. No, relationship with anything in this world, in our life, in this creation. Any kind of relationship is something of responsibility. So we have duties towards those, obligations towards everything around us. And here I can mention a hadith from Rasulullah's beautiful hadith, and is very famous and agreed upon in all sects. The Prophet says, كُلُّكُمْ رَاعٍ وَكُلُّكُمْ مَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. All of you are guardians. You are guardians. Every single person is guardian of something. Means you have responsibility to take care of something. Take care of your family, take care of your children, take care of your neighbors, brothers, sisters, anything. Any person or anything. Take care of things that that belong to you. Kullukum ra'in. Everybody nobody can say, no, I'm not guardian of anything. I don't have any kind of responsibility towards anything. No. Then you are not human being. If you are a human being, you have responsibility towards someone or something. Someone or something. It's responsibility. Kullukum ra'in. Everybody is ra'in, as guardian, is responsible. وَكُلُّكُمْ مَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. And everybody will be asked, will be held accountable for his belongings that he has to take care of. عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. Things that belongs to him, that under his care, under his guardianship. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to ask us, what thing, is spared here? Nothing. No exception. It means when Imam is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is really, it's not easy that you fulfill all your responsibilities towards every single thing around you. Every single thing around you. Anything that belongs to you or any person that has any kind of relationship with you. Things and persons and this whole world. It's hard, really, to fulfill our responsibilities towards everything and every person. So that's why Imam is asking, Ya Allah, make me use my time in things that you are going to ask me about in the day of judgment. See, every halal, every haram, every wajib, every mustahab is briefed in this one single sentence. And we're asking Allah to help us, because without Allah's help, it is not possible for anybody to fulfill his or her responsibility. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really accept our dua, our supplications, and may Allah give us the ability to spend our life and our time in things that are really worth it. إن أحسن الحديث وأبلغ الموعظة كتاب الله أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال الله في كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين. Taqwa and piety is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has emphasized always, and I advise myself and you of piety. Without piety, you will see the world filled with injustice, oppression, bloodshed, and terrorism. Terrorism has no religion. You have heard recently the sad news of an attack on worshippers. And these worshippers were Muslims. And we always condemn any kind of such attack, whether it is on Muslims or non-Muslims. It doesn't matter who is the terrorist, who is the killer, and who has been killed. The terrorists should be condemned, no matter of what religion they belong to. And those who are victims of terrorism should be supported, no matter what religion they belong to. And this is what we do, and this is what our Imam Amirul Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam taught us. Kuna lil-zalimi khasman wa lil-mazlumi auna. Always be against oppressors and with the oppressed. So we condemn this heinous act of terrorism here in New Zealand that happened against these masajid, 2 masjids, and more than 50 people were killed and many were injured. And also we condemn any kind of terrorism anywhere done by anyone, individual or a group or a government. Anywhere, any dhulm happens, we condemn it. We don't agree with that. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send His last representative on this earth so that He can establish true and real and comprehensive peace and justice on this earth, inshallah.